Welcome back to FLIMS. Well, in this last segment, we look at another film, and this film is by Stephen Taylor. Welcome, Stephen.
Thank you.
How are you doing? Right, we're going to talk to you first before we see the film. The film follows the suicide theme, but it also has a sort of hint of like these school shootings and so on. There's a sort of hint or a suggestion that it might turn into one of these sort of massacres. Why so morbid about the university experience?
Well, what normally goes through the mind of a student, sometimes with all the assignments and all that, sometimes you think about these morbid thoughts, you know. I wish the campus would burn down or something like that, you know. And I just thought about how would that be in our case, our environment. And after doing some research on some of the foreign massacres, I realized that just simple things could trip somebody off. They don't have to be mad, but just simple things like probably getting a D in an exam, and because your parents quarreled with you home, you decide you want to kill everybody, or the person with the best looking hair or the best looking teeth, you just want to kill them. So I decided to explore that a bit.
Why?
Because the quote I always have this kind of look on life that, you know, most of what you see is just illusion, and most of what you hear isn't the truth. So not because you're smiling and you're all happy means that you are genuinely happy, but sometimes it's just like actors on a stage. So I wanted to explore the moments before, the behavioral patterns of someone who has intentions of doing something like that, how natural they could be, how, you know,
so the film is called A Moment Before.
Moments before.
Moments before.
So it's moments before doing something like that.
Right, and so you're using film in one of its strengths really is to bend time a bit, to sort of jump forward and backwards in time, yes, and explore the way in which time changes, which is one of the strengths of film really. Mm-hmm. Do you think that doing a film about suicide is in danger of imitators, people getting, say, sort of feeling that they could go and do that?
I think people have eyes to see, and daily life we get examples of these things. Not because it's on a film now makes it any different. It's just ideas. People have imaginations, right, and I think not by viewing a film you would be influenced to do that.
Why do you think, say, 4 of the films of the class were centered on this subject? I remember the project we did last semester. There was a lot of guns. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So there's guns and there's suicide. What do you think? Is it just because it's dramatic that they choose it, or is there something to do with the way in which student life is nowadays?
I think what we are bombarded with, mm-hmm, in terms of Hollywood and what makes a film good, it has to have explosions and all these spectacles and so on. So sometimes when you deal with these morbid themes, you get to explore that spectacle. It doesn't really necessarily reflect your livelihood or how you feel, but you get to be a little more larger than life when you explore these themes.
So it's sort of going for the blockbuster?
Yeah, you know, because when you look at these simple dramas and so on, you have to really follow a storyline, and you know, not that these blockbusters, you don't have a storyline, but it's a little more entertaining in terms of the eye. Yeah.
So what do you think of for the future? I mean, you think that you will explore more subtle, nuanced kind of films, or still go for the violence or the action and the drama?
I guess when people look at the film Moments Before, they would see that yes, it has a little bit of drama in it. It may be a little violent, but the violent is not glorified. You know, there's no blood and any extent.
And you're a makeup man. You like blood.
I love blood. I love it.
Love to do
I just don't get the time to do it on my film, but they could look out for that. You see, the thing is, you could expect that, mm-hmm, but in my film, I don't like to really tell too much. I don't like to give it away. So there are a lot of hints in there that you could follow a different story.
Well, I thought the film was very well made. I thought it was, you know, it was more mature and subtle. And even though it was violent. But so congratulations.
Thank you.
I look forward to seeing you next year and year after.
And a feature film. Look out for that for this feature
film.
Well,
I'm looking forward to that. Thanks a lot, Stephen.
Thank you.
Good. Well, we're going to look at Stephen's film now, Moments Before. So hold on to your seats and enjoy. After the film, that will be the end of this episode of FLIMS. And you'll see us next week for more films on FLIMS. Stephen, let's see it.
Yeah, let's do it.